I never in a million years expected that just a physical touch with the school bell could boost my score by another 10 points. Also, I could borrow some of her luck. Every day I trailed after her like a shadow, fussing over everything, bringing her water, giving her meals, until even the legendary school bell everyone admired couldn't take it anymore. She gave me a cold warning. You're being way too annoying. Could you just stay away from me? Please, I'm begging you. Later on, I discovered a brush against that red-haired girl from the next class had exactly the same effect. So I dropped the school bell completely. Every day I chased after the redhead, practically begging for a beating. 1 month later, the school bell finally couldn't stand it. She cornered me, staring at my bruised and battered face, her eyes turning red. Stop torturing yourself chasing after those neighborhood delinquents. I'll go out with you, okay? In senior year, a new transfer student joined our class, tall and stunningly beautiful, with ridiculously top-tier grades. She took first place in the whole grade on her very first monthly exam. The only downside was her aloof personality. She gave off a strong stay-away, stranger vibe. No one dared approach her, and nobody like me obviously had zero chance of connecting with her. But lately I'd noticed something. Any physical contact with her guaranteed something good would happen. The first time I brushed past her, I accidentally bumped into her lightly. That evening I found 10 yuan on the ground. When I tripped while jogging, and she caught me with one hand. Lunch that day was free. Those things weren't a big deal. Finding a few bucks hardly counts as major luck. Until the second monthly exam, I grabbed my pencil case and headed out of the classroom. The doorway was packed with people. Someone shoved me from behind. I lost balance and crashed right into Lin Lam. "Watch it," Lin Lam said, catching me with one hand. Her voice clear and cool, like a mountain stream flowing through a quiet valley. My face burned red as I hurried away. I didn't think much of the little incident, but when the results came out, I was utterly shocked. I'd scored a full 510 points. Mind you, since starting high school, my score had never gone over 500. No matter how hard I studied, I couldn't break that curse. But this time the curse was shattered. I was terrified it was a fluke. So, I anxiously double-checked everything. The total really was 510. I gripped my test paper, so excited I nearly cried, to confirm whether my luck really was tied to Lin Lam. Before school let out, I decided to test it again. Lin Lam was so cold. Talking to her was already hard enough, let alone touching her. I waited all evening without finding a single chance. After evening self-study ended, Lin Lam grabbed her bag and walked out. I hurriedly stuffed my homework into my backpack, ready to chase after her, but she had long legs and moved too fast. By the time I slung my bag on and ran out of class, she was already gone. Rush hour after school, people everywhere like ants. Students rushing home, like a flood, sweeping past my eyes. I couldn't spot Lin Lam anywhere. Even worse, some jerk had left a mop handle on the floor. I tripped over it, falling flat on my back. My glasses flew 2 meters away. My glasses. Don't step on them. Please don't step on them. I knelt on the ground, groping blindly. Everything a blur. I couldn't see a thing. No one paid me any attention, until a figure stopped in front of me. A guy beside her smirked and asked, "Grace Liu, isn't this your little fanboy? How'd he end up like this?" The girl above me glanced down for 2 seconds, then coldly stepped back. What does it have to do with me? With that, she and the guy walked off together. I held my breath, my heart sour and disappointed. Grace Liu was the girl I'd secretly crushed on for ages. 1 month ago, I'd mustered all my courage to confess to her. She looked down from above, not even bothering to take my gift up. She asked how I'd scored on the monthly exam. 499 points. She curled her lip in mock apology. I don't date idiots. I never expected her to say something so cruel. It left me heartbroken for a long time. A month had passed since then. Even though I'd gotten over the shock, her actions just now still left me awkward and hurt. The guy with her earlier was Lucas Lynn, second in their class. Were they dating? They looked good together, honestly. People streamed past on all sides. I took a deep breath to steady myself, reached for my glasses. But a slender, pale hand beat me to it and picked them up first. Here you go. I looked up and saw Lin Lam's hazy face through my blurry vision. Oh, these are yours. The hand brought the glasses closer. I reached out to take them now. The moment our fingertips touched, a loud crash echoed from the end of the hallway. Lucas Lin's voice rang out across the school. Grace! Grace Liu fell flat on her face in agony, her face scraped in several places, covered in colorful bandages, green and red patches that looked almost comical. The next day at school, I passed by Grace Liu's classroom, saw her sour face by the window. A secret thrill ran through me. Lin Lam really was my lucky charm. Any physical contact with her guaranteed good things would come knocking. I had to seize this chance. Touching her didn't just trigger luck in life, it skyrocketed my grades too. Back in class, I started plotting how to get closer to Lin Lam. I couldn't just rely on chance encounters forever. I needed to build a real connection. During break, Lin Lam was reading at her seat. Her deskmate was gone. I wandered over and glanced. Edgar Allan Poe. I know this one. Perfect common ground. I plopped down beside her. Hey Lin, you like Edgar Allan Poe too? Great taste. I've read every short story of his obsessively, especially My Uncle Jules. I've reread it countless times. Lin Lam looked at me with confusion. She said nothing. What's wrong? I asked softly. Lin Lam closed her book, coolly replying, Do you have something else? Nothing. Just wanted to chat a bit. Sorry, I'm kind of busy right now. She looked at me, her dark eyes almost emotionless. She was just reading. How busy could she be? But since she was my good luck charm, I didn't dare snap back. I grumbled inwardly, then smiled awkwardly and retreated to my seat though. After sitting a while, something felt off. Didn't she like My Uncle Jules? Why not? I pulled out my phone to check. The big words hit me. Author Guy de Maupassant. First proactive move. Total disaster. I had zero face left to approach her until the weekly test results came out, seeing my total of 510. Cold sweat poured down my back. Without Lin Lam's top student aura, my progress had stalled again. This couldn't go on forever. I frantically made a delicious bubble tea, planning to find Lin Lam, but I was too shy. Maybe at lunch. Lunch came. Maybe afternoon then. Afternoon passed. The tea went cold. Dusk fell. A breeze swept across the sports field. Her sweat-dampened bangs fluttered gently. Lin Lam glanced at me for a moment, her eyes completely blank. She silently walked on. Have you eaten? Want to grab something together? She ignored me. Or I could bring you breakfast tomorrow. The red bean buns near my place are amazing. She was starting to get annoyed. She stopped. Hey classmate, what do you actually want? I stopped too. I just think you're really nice. So I want to be friends. Come on, let's get to know each other. I'm Charles Gudawa. She spoke firmly, her tone icy. I already know your name is Charles Gu. Second, I don't need friends. Can you go now? Who doesn't need friends? I grinned wide, full-on clingy mode. Then can I be your one-sided friend? She must have thought I was hopeless. She sighed and turned away. Her steps quickened. Lin? I chattered after her the whole way. Only when we reached the basketball court did she stop. She went inside to get her bag. It was too crowded. I couldn't squeeze in. So I waited outside quietly. A few girls from our grade leaned against the wall. They smirked at me. Hey, are you seriously trying to hit on Lynn Lamb? We weren't close at all. The sudden question caught me off guard. No way, just looking out for a classmate, that's all. Looking out for her? One girl pouted. I suggest you stay far away from her. My heart tightened. Why? Do you know why she transferred? I shook my head. No. If you don't know, then forget it. Bottom line, she's a jinx. Anyone who gets close ends up cursed for life. Don't believe me? Try it and see. The girls slung their bags on and walked off laughing with their friends. I stood stunned, watching them disappear. My heart felt heavy as stone. Waves of emotion surged inside. When I turned back, Lynn Lamb had already come out. I didn't know when, even less if she'd heard any of it. In that moment, I froze, speechless. Lynn Lamb glanced at me, silently shouldered her bag. She bowed her head, hiding her feelings deep. Don't follow me anymore. Thanks. She walked against the wind toward the school gate, her lonely back like a speck of dust. Suddenly, I couldn't just let her walk away like that. Lynn Lamb, I don't know what happened before you transferred. I just know being near you brings nothing but good luck. You're clearly a blessing. I shouted at her retreating figure. Tomorrow morning I'll bring you red bean buns. She paused for a second, but didn't turn back, melting into the crowd. Early next morning, I lined up forever. Finally got hot red bean buns and rushed to class. Lynn Lamb was already there. Panting, I offered her the buns. Here, your red bean buns. Whispers rippled through the room. I ignored them, eyes fixed on Lynn Lamb. She froze, but didn't reach for it. She rummaged in her desk for a book, not looking at me. No thanks. I felt awkward. Still held them out. Softly. They're really good. Try one? A long silence. She pulled out a book, opened it, and looked at me. Her brows furrowed slightly. I already said no. I met her eyes. The rejection was crystal clear. No hesitation. I lined up for an hour to get these. My pride stung a little. I pulled my hand back. Awkward smile. Okay. The bell for self-study rang. I hurried to my seat, quickly pulled out my literature textbook. Read it loudly as the homeroom teacher walked in. Once he left, I lowered the book, squeezed the red bean bun in my hand. What a headache. Lynn Lamb is so hard to please. The boys around me winked and snickered. One stood. Hey, Charles Gautier. What's up with you and Lynn Lamb? Trying to woo her? I looked up, wanted to explain, but saw no point. Didn't bother replying. They burst out laughing. You really think you can get her? Bold move. But who wants your torn-up red bean bun? If you confessed to me like that, I wouldn't even respond. I was starting to get annoyed. Who said I was chasing you? If you chased me, I wouldn't care either. Idiot. Lining up an hour for a red bean bun. I wanted to argue back, but in the end I just pressed my lips together, lowered my head, and stared at the textbook. Truth is, since I was little, people called me smart. Top of the class from elementary through middle school, high school. I understood everything, but every exam I'd lose points stupidly. So I became the guy who tries hard, but never improves. In others' eyes, a total fool. A dummy like me always seemed short on luck, desperately approaching Lynn Lamb, just to borrow some of hers. My clumsy attempts probably looked ridiculous to everyone else, huh? Thinking about it, I suddenly felt so pathetic. I bit my lip, tears splashing onto the back of my hand. I didn't even notice the room had gone dead quiet. The boys had shut up, until a clear voice sounded above me. Why are you crying? I jolted and looked up. Lynn Lamb stood right beside my desk, looking down at me from above. Outside the window, rain fell steadily. Her body blocked the light, half her face in shadow, expression unreadable, and nothing. I quickly wiped my face to hide. She didn't press, just sighed softly, her gaze falling on the red bean bun in my hand. You lined up an hour for that? I nodded slightly. Yeah. Give it here. I was surprised. But she looked dead serious. For some reason, my heart pounded wildly. I hesitated and handed her the red bean bun. She took it, voice calm. Thanks. Lynn Lamb ate the red bean bun I bought. I knew it. She's cold on the outside, warm inside. During break, I sat at the back desk, watching from afar as she munched the bun while working on problems. My heart bursting with excitement. When her desk mate stepped out, I dashed over. Classmate. She blinked, looked at me. What now? Nothing. Was the red bean bun good? Yeah. So tomorrow I'll bring you one again? She seemed reluctant to talk, but patiently refused. Use that time to memorize more books instead. Okay. Then I'll bring something else. No need to go to all that trouble. It's no trouble. We're good friends, right? Don't say stuff like that. Lynn Lamb pursed her lips and sighed, probably regretting ever eating my red bean bun. She held back a bit, then asked, if you have nothing else, go nap at your desk. I'm not sleepy. I came looking for you on purpose, just to ask if the red bean bun was good. Nah, exactly. I reached under the desk, eyes full of hope. Can we shake hands? Why? The weekly test is this afternoon. If we don't now, it'll be too late. Lynn Lamb. The weekly test results came. I got 520 points. I clutched the paper, tears welling as I stared at the back of Lynn Lamb's head. The more I looked, the more content I felt. From that day on, every day I brought her water, brought her meals, taking care of her down to the smallest detail. Lynn Lamb still barely talked to me like before, but she didn't stop me from getting close. I secretly thought, she's probably just cold outside, warm inside. She doesn't hate me at all. Thanks to borrowing her top student energy, every exam I improved noticeably. After 2 weekly tests, my score jumped to 530. By the 3rd monthly exam of senior year, I scored a solid 540. Our school posts an elite board after every exam on the faculty wall. Top 100 in the grade get honored there. Lynn Lamb topped it again with 708 points. And somehow, I made the board too. At her old school, my score wouldn't stand a chance. But ours is a bit lower tier. So even 540 got me ranked 98 overall. First time seeing my name on the golden board. I excitedly touched my name, reluctant to leave. Soon, I heard untimely voices. He made the board too. Obviously, Lucas Lin. Grace Liu had to be there. I turned, and sure enough, there she was. She stood with one hand in her pocket, staring at my name. Her face didn't look good. She dropped to 18th this time. It's fine, Grace. Just a slip-up. Lucas Lin comforted her. She paled and said nothing. Glanced at me once. Her eyes, a little dim, then quickly lowered her head and walked away. My progress was lightning fast. 4th monthly exam. I shot up to 590 points, so my mind gradually felt clearer. Before, hard problems were like a fog, clouding my vision. I felt like the answer was almost there, then gone. Now it was like a breeze blew through, cleared the fog away. Answers, sharp and clear. Teachers were stunned by my improvement. Since outright accusing me of cheating wasn't polite, they kept calling me to the board randomly to solve problems. After several perfect solutions without a single mistake, they finally accepted it was real skill. Not only that, gradually, the class's attitude toward Lynn Lamb changed. They said it must be because I'd absorbed some of her top student aura. That's why my miracle progress. So occasionally someone would approach Lin Lam to ask questions. The always solitary, cold girl now had people around her. She still spoke little, but never refused to help anyone. After the fourth monthly exam came seat selection. I still loved my back row spot best. I asked Lin Lam, "Want to move to the back row with me? I'll crown you row captain." She looked indifferent, but after I sat down, she moved her desk right next to mine. I stared in surprise. She ignored me, calmly solved problems. "Hey, didn't you say you wouldn't come down here?" She didn't look up. "If you have time to chatter, do more problem sets. I'm doing them. Just wait. One day I'll surpass you. You'll see." "Fine, I'll wait." For a second, I thought I saw her lips curve slightly, but the smile vanished so fast. I thought I imagined it. Did she just smile? Really smile? Turns out she can smile. Damn, why do I keep staring at her like this? I snapped out of it, buried my head and hammered through 2 physics sets. Before evening study, Daniel John from the neighboring school brought 2 bubble teas. Came to hang out. He sat in Lin Lam's seat, ranted about how girls had hurt him lately. After venting, he asked, "Oh right, what's up with you and Lin Lam?" I was sipping tea and suddenly felt guilty. "What do you mean? Lin Lam who? No idea." "Stop acting. I heard all the rumors. Said you're chasing her hard." "Tisk. Last time I saw you, you were crying your eyes out over Grace Liu rejecting you. Living like death. How'd you switch targets so fast?" "People change, man. But this switch was lightning quick." He winked at me. "Tell the truth. Are you chasing Lin Lam just to piss off Grace Liu?" "Nonsense. Does she even deserve that?" "Looks like I hit the nail. That's why you're so defensive." "No way." I said no. Mentioning Grace Liu made me lose face. I crushed the teacup and tossed it in the trash, without noticing someone pause at the back door for a moment, then quietly leave. After Daniel left, I did 2 more English clothes set. Evening self-study was about to start. Only then did Lin Lam return to class. It was fully dark. She stepped from the shadows into the light. For some reason, she seemed in a bad mood. Her whole aura gloomy. "You okay?" I asked softly. "I'm fine." She didn't look at me, quietly rummaged in the bookshelf. "Okay, I guess. She probably ran into those annoying girls again. They'd picked fights with her more than once or twice. I didn't want to upset her more, so I placed a lollipop on her desk, then silently did my homework. Lin Lam was acting strange, restless, and ignoring me even more. Normally, she barely talked anyway. But this time something felt wrong. Next day's break, outside the faculty office, students crowded around the new ranking board. Lin Lam stood on the balcony catching sun, her tall figure leaning on the railing, one hand in pocket, the other holding an English notebook. Lazy expression under the sunlight hitting half her face, fine hairs glowing in the afternoon light. The tiny mole on her nose bridge made her look even more ethereal. I shamelessly sidled up, begged her to check the rankings with me. She was a bit impatient. "Nothing worth seeing. To you maybe, but I rarely make the board. Come on, let's go together." "I'm busy." She frowned. "Flip the page. Just for a bit. A little movement will improve your mood, keep you healthy longer." I couldn't convince her. Then, beside us, an untimely figure appeared. "Charles, what's the situation?" Lin Lam's hand paused. She looked up. I turned and saw Grace Liu. Rare to see her without that superior air. Her gaze, on Lin Lam, a mix of scrutiny and surprise. No idea why she was here. Total mood killer. My smile faded. "What do you want?" "Nothing." She looked away, gave me a faint smile. "Just noticed you're ranked 38th overall this time. Congrats." I replied coolly. Thanks. I had no intention of continuing. Maybe seeing me so indifferent. She hesitated. Still unwilling, asked me, "Want to grab dinner tonight?" Our usual spot. Back when I had a crush on her, I'd begged someone in her class to join her for dinner. Back then, she barely glanced at me. Now she was inviting me, just because I wasn't the loser she thought anymore. So now she was being nice. How cheap. No thanks. I'm busy. I wanted this conversation over fast, so I stepped closer to Lin Lam Don, close enough to easily be misunderstood. I sneaked a worried glance at Lin Lam. Luckily, she didn't call me out. I felt grateful. Grace Liu saw it all. Her face froze for a moment. She forced a smile. Eyes sad. "Sorry for bothering you." Lin Lam stayed completely detached, calmly watching my little act, until Grace Liu left. The air grew heavy. She said slowly, "Could you stay away from me a bit?" I snapped back, quickly stepped back 2 paces. "Sorry, the person just now. I'm not interested." She closed her book, eyes full of unbearable annoyance. "From now on, don't come near me anymore, okay? You're too much trouble." I froze. I'd never seen her look at me like that. Cold and disgusted. I was scared. Frantically explained, "Sorry. Today." "Why?" "Before 2. Her face ice cold. "I just want to be left alone. Stay away, please. I'm begging you." I stared blankly. Lin Lam. "What's wrong? Am I not being clear enough?" She seemed to have reached her limit, stood and walked straight toward class. She turned back to add, "Your red bean bun tasted awful." So, my red bean bun was that bad? Talk about psychological damage. I stood there stunned for ages, mind completely blank. Class started. I returned to my seat. She was right beside me, yet it felt like we were worlds apart. I wanted to talk to her, but she was always busy. I could hardly find a chance. A long time passed. Finally, I gave up. I'd thought she'd opened up to me. Turns out it was just my imagination. She'd always been enduring me, like enduring that awful red bean bun. She liked being alone, liked her own world, and me, wanting to borrow her luck, forced my way into that world, ignoring how she felt. Way too selfish, way too presumptuous. That whole day I didn't approach her. The next evening, self-study. I skipped dinner, sat there grinding math problems. Lin Lam and I hadn't spoken in a day and a half, only by burying myself in work. Could I calm down? Noises from the hallway. I heard classmates whispering, "Whoa, isn't that Julian Chu? Is he here for Lin Lam?" I heard they used to date. I jerked up. It was Julian Chu, top student from the province's key school. School heartthrob. So outstanding even I'd heard his name. But I had no idea he'd dated Lin Lam. A soft knock from the back door. "Excuse me, classmate. Mind if I bother you a sec?" I turned. A slim, pretty girl, smiling gently. "Is Lin Lam here?" In front of her, I looked like a mess. I shook my head. "She went to eat." "Then could you give this to her?" "Thanks." She handed me a small box. A card on top read "Happy Birthday." I froze for a moment, then took it. So, today was her birthday. Sure enough, I'd never really entered her world. I didn't even know her birthday. How could I call myself a friend? Her friends were all top students, all heartthrobs, not someone like me. Somewhere in my heart felt stabbed. A sharp ache. Evening self-study. Lin Lam returned. I handed her the gift. "Julian Chu sent this for you." She paused a second, then took it. Face still cold as ever. "Thanks." "No problem. Happy birthday." And I forced a smile. About before, really sorry. I was too full of myself. Ignored how you felt. It won't happen again. She froze, gripped her pen tight, didn't look at me or speak. Wind rose. The back door slammed open with a bang. Cold air rushed into the room. She muttered, "This stupid door." I hurried to close it, forced a laugh. Seeing she said nothing, I quietly took out my notebook and studied seriously. Evening bell rang. Lin Lam left immediately. I stayed to finish one more math set. By the time I packed up, school was almost empty. Northwest wind hit my face, bitter cold, like knives. I thought bitterly, lost Lin Lam's luck. Will I stall again from now on? Would stepping on her foot still work? But, with our relationship like this, I had no face left to do it. That would be too rude. Lost in thought, I crashed into a human wall. I looked up, almost blinded by a shock of bright red hair. Who the hell? No eyes. Ruby Chung frowned, saw it was me and paused. Isn't this Lin Lam's clingy little tail? I recognized her. The delinquent from the next class. Always causing trouble. Only stayed in the advanced class thanks to family connections. I didn't want trouble with her. Tried to leave, but she blocked me. Hands in pockets. Smirking slyly. Birds of a feather. That unlucky face just like the other one. I couldn't hold back. Lifted my head and glared. Who are you calling? Redhead smirked. Raised a brow. What? Can't take it. Defending that jinx so hard? My heart stung again. I clenched my fists. Found courage from somewhere to glare. Yahoo! So what? You proud of it? A lifetime loser redhead like you can't even compare to one of Lin Lam's toenails. Redhead's face darkened. Say that again? Say it again, then what? Still can't compare to one toenail of hers. Damn, you tired of living? Redhead lost it. Grabbed my collar tight. Suddenly, footsteps behind. Someone ran up. A patrolling security guard. Redhead shot me a look. Grinded her teeth. Consider yourself lucky. Because of the clash with Redhead, I missed the last bus. I hugged my backpack tight. What a crappy day. High heels sounded ahead. Poor thing. A woman sighed softly. Stuffed something into my hand. Take this and buy some bread to eat, kid. I looked up. The woman stepped into a luxury car. Speed off in a flash, leaving only faint gas smell. A dozen bills fluttered from my hand to the ground. I picked them up one by one. Stunned. So much money just for bread? Screw you rich people! I jumped up, watched the luxury car disappear down the road. Suddenly, something felt off. How did I get such weird luck? Today I definitely didn't touch Lin Lam. I racked my brain. 10,000% sure. No contact with Lin Lam today. Not even eye contact. So, I thought and thought, back and forth. Mind spinning. Could it be because of Redhead? Scary as it was, I had to test it once. If rubbing Redhead brought luck too, I wouldn't have to bother Lin Lam anymore, even if I got beaten. As long as my scores stayed high, it was worth it. Next day, I waited for Redhead's schedule. After she finished self-study and left school, I blocked her. Hey, Redhead! She froze. Looked at me confused, like she couldn't believe I dared. What? Today I'm here to tell you, you can't even compare to one toenail of Lin Lam's. I knew this would make her explode. Sure enough, she grabbed my collar, face furious. Damn you crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy, hit me. Think I won't? Go ahead. Redhead held back again and again. Veins bulging on her forehead. Finally, she gritted her teeth, shoved me hard aside. I fell flat. Glasses flew off, crushed, underfoot. Psycho, who wants to deal with you? Lucky for you today, get lost. If I see you again, I'll beat you every time. Redhead angrily slung her bag back on. A group of girls headed her way. One suck-up ran over. Sis Han. What happened? Nothing. Just ran into a lunatic. Let's go. She patted the girl's shoulder and left. I breathed a sigh of relief, picked up my glasses, put them on, sat against a pole, still, in shock. The world shattered into pieces before my eyes. No way? My glasses broken? Seriously unlucky. I knew it. Getting involved with that redhead would. I touched my glasses sadly. How old are you anyway? Been watching too much Shakespeare? I looked up, confused at the arguing couple in front of me. The woman smiled coldly. Love without money is like a handful of sand. No wind needed. Just a few steps, and it falls apart. The man, eyes red, staggered away a few steps. He turned back angrily, took off his shoes, watch, yanked off his chain, threw everything at my feet. Take it all back. The woman was silent for a long time, gave a bitter smile, then teared up, turned and stepped into the luxury car, then sped off. I dazedly picked up the shiny watch from the ground. The chain, too. Heavy. Was it real gold? Redhead, are you a gold magnet? The next day, the seat beside me stayed empty. Lynn Lamb didn't come to school. I had no idea why she was absent. I didn't even know who to ask. My heart felt just like that empty seat. Hollow. All day long. Mood utterly terrible. At this rate, I'd have to go find that redhead to make up for it. Before the last period, I pushed open the door to Class 4. The room was already noisy. Everyone turned to stare at the unfamiliar face with a grim expression standing at the door, until I pointed at the redhead sitting at the back desk. Hey, you, the redhead. After school, don't even think about leaving. Wait for me in the back alley. Ruby Chung was making bubble tea. Hearing my shout, the cup in her hand jolted and exploded. Class 4 fell dead silent for a second. Then it erupted. Holy crap! Who's that guy? Daring to openly challenge Ruby Chung? So intense? The room buzzed with whispers. A flood of curious eyes locked onto me. I glanced at them once, then casually turned and headed back to my class. After one period ended, the news of my duel challenge with Ruby Chung had spread everywhere. At dismissal, a ton of people from Class 4 gathered to watch the drama. I slung my bag on and strolled into the back alley. After being provoked in front of that many people, no way she wouldn't show. A few minutes later, she appeared at the alley entrance, a pack of her followers trailing behind. She tossed her bag to one of them. You guys stay here. Don't come over. Then she trudged toward me. Spit it out. What do you want? I just wanted to make sure you know. You don't even come close to one bit of. Damn it, I knew it. She grabbed my collar tight. Are you insane? I only insulted her once. And you're going this far? I stood on tiptoes, gritting my teeth. Apologized to Lynn Lamb, or every day I'll come curse you out. What's wrong with you? You think I'd apologize to her? Believe me, I'll beat you senseless. Then go ahead and hit me. Think I won't take it? She shoved me hard against the wall. A thud, sharp pain. I let out a soft groan, barely able to breathe. Ruby Chung froze for a second, then released me with a push. Damn it. Psycho. She ruffled her hair in frustration and stormed out. The girls swarmed her. Sis Han, what happened? Need us to. Get lost. After getting beaten up by that redhead, money really started pouring in. As long as I kept this golden lump, my life would be set. Day 3. I used the same trick to set up a meeting with Ruby Chung. This time, she didn't want to come. No problem. I'd go find her myself. After school, when she was walking alone, I blocked her path. Hey, redhead, it's you again? Yeah, you still can't even compare to one of Lynn Lamb's toenails. Hit me. Not worth my time. Ruby Chung turned to leave. I stood on tiptoes, grabbed her collar tight. Hit me. She was about to lose it. Furiously shoved me away. What the hell do you want before you'll let me go? I sprawled on the ground, eyes stubbornly fixed on demanding an apology to Lynn Lamb. Damn it! The redhead punched the trash can repeatedly in rage. Psycho! Psycho! Lin Lam had been absent for days straight. My mood was gloomy every single day. So every day I went to hang out with the redhead. It kept going like that, and rumors started swirling around school. People said I was secretly in love with her, confessing every day, but she wouldn't give me the time of day, so she beat me up every single time. I suddenly became the school's infamous pathetic simp, chasing one person after another. But I didn't care. As long as I could borrow some luck, let them talk. After days of getting pummeled by that redhead girl, the luck I'd accumulated could probably cover a down payment on a house. Only one problem. I broke a pair of glasses every day. At this rate, it wasn't sustainable. To make it long-term viable, I gritted my teeth and spent a fortune on contact lenses. Day 7, almost New Year, the weather getting colder by the day, breath coming out in puffs of smoke. I washed my hair early morning, didn't even dry it before rushing to school. By the time I got to class, hair still damp. A girl at the front desk stopped me. "Hey, who are you looking for?" "Whoa, Charles Gu. Why are your eyes suddenly so big?" She looked like she'd seen a ghost. Was it necessary? I turned and headed to my seat, only to realize Lin Lam was back. Hearing noise in front, she looked up. Recognizing me, she paused slightly. The room went pin-drop silent. I could almost hear my own heart pounding. After a hesitant moment, I smiled at her. "You're back at school." She nodded, as if that was her reply. I had so much to say, but feared talking too much would annoy her, so I swallowed it all, quietly returned to my seat. The atmosphere was painfully awkward. Lin Lam glanced at me once, then suddenly asked, "Why aren't you wearing glasses anymore?" Was she actually concerned about me? My heart skipped 2 beats, but I quickly calmed down. She was probably just asking because I looked strange without them. I pressed my lips into a faint smile. Just felt like changing my style a bit. "It's fine." She bowed her head, breathing very lightly. I asked back, "What about you? Why did it take so long for you to come back?" "I had acute appendicitis. Had to stay in the hospital a few days." My hand froze, staring at her in shock. But she kept her calm expression like nothing happened, quietly looking at her textbook. I nodded, took out my book, feeling an immense emptiness inside. Sure enough, I'd never really entered her world. I didn't have her contact info, knew nothing about her past, not even her birthday or her illness. "Oh right." Lin Lam suddenly looked at me, her thumb repeatedly flicking the pen cap. "I heard you've been frequently going to see Ruby Chung from class 4 lately?" Hearing that redhead's name from her mouth caught me off guard. Didn't expect her to hear the rumors right after returning. I gave a bitter smile, a bit awkward. "Yeah, there's that. I had something to settle with her. Stay away from her a bit." I looked at her blankly. Lin Lam bowed her head to flip a page. Eyes shadowed, mood unreadable. "College entrance exams are coming up. Don't ruin your future over some neighborhood delinquent." What was this? Lecturing a wayward teen? Didn't she call me annoying? So why say this to me? I had no idea what she was really thinking anymore. Didn't dare ask. Just stayed silent. "Thanks. I know. I'll behave myself." That whole day, Lin Lam and I were stiff and awkward, neither in a good mood. Near dismissal, I went to stake out Ruby Chung again. This time she slipped away before I could catch her. No beating today. It left me restless all over. On the way out, the gate, a kind girl from class 4 pointed the way. Sis Hoan's in the back alley. The narrow alley, dimly lit. Ruby Chung had her back to the entrance, on the phone. Speaker on, a middle-aged man's voice. Probably her dad. What was the call about? "Busy. Dad, handle the transfer papers for me." Why transfer out of the blue? Ruby Chung was silent a moment. "I'm being bullied at school." The other end went quiet for a long time. "You're bullying who?" Ruby Chung was about to explode. "May, I'm the one being bullied. Talking to you is pointless. Just do it! She hung up angrily, turned around and nearly jumped out of her skin. Why are you haunting me like a ghost? I rushed forward and grabbed her collar. What the hell are you doing? Where do you think you're going, big sis? Let me go, please. I'll bow to you, okay? I'm telling you, you're not going anywhere. Wherever you go, I'll follow. Ruby Chung held back again and again. Finally couldn't anymore. She shoved me hard. Charles, goo, don't push it too far. I stumbled a few steps. Foot slipped. Behind me were stairs. Under the stairs, piles of old desks and chairs. I tumbled down. Clattering sounds rang out non-stop, body aching from the impacts. Pain so bad tears welled up. Ruby Chung startled in panic, about to run over to check. Then someone crashed into her, sending her flying. Charles goo. I looked up in surprise. Lin Lam rushed over, stopped right in front of me, her back to the streetlight, so I couldn't see her expression clearly, only the hazy cold mist from her breath, dissipating slowly in the air. You okay? Probably fine. I struggled to get up, but my leg hurt too much. Failed. Tried again. Lin Lam grabbed my arm and pulled me up, her other hand supporting my shoulder, to keep me from falling. This position was, basically, an embrace. My ears rang. Face heating up. Lin Lam lifted her eyes to Ruby Chung, breathing heavily. Don't you dare go too far. Ruby Chung froze completely. Me going too far. Holy crap! She looked at Lin Lam, then at me. Grinding her teeth in fury, kicked the wall hard. Calmed down for a few seconds. Shot us a sideways glare, then stormed off grumpily. Her followers were waiting. Swarmed her. Sis Haun. Need us to handle him? Get lost. Yes, ma'am. I looked at the empty alley entrance. Lin Lam spoke, tone a bit stiff. Let's go. I'll take you to the hospital. No need. It's not that bad. It'll be fine by tomorrow. I pulled my hand back, stepped away. It hurt so much I nearly lost balance. I quickly leaned against the wall. Why are you here? I forced a smile. Face scraped in several places. Smiling made it sting. I drew in a cold breath. Didn't dare touch it. Didn't want Lin Lam to notice. Just passing by. She stared at me, eyes seeming to hold 1,000 unspoken words. Silent for a moment. Finally couldn't hold back. Questioned, why would you chase after a lifetime loser like her? I froze. Met her gaze. Right, that's what everyone was saying around school. But didn't she hate me being clingy? Who I chased after had nothing to do with her, right? Only then did it hit me. All this time, I'd still been hung up on her calling me annoying. I bowed my head, angrily replied, I just want to date already. It's got nothing to do with you. Want to date? She laughed out of anger. That badly? Even if she beats you black and blue, it's fine? That was unfair to her. No, it's not like I get beaten like this every day. Just now she wasn't careful. She's actually not bad. Not bad? Don't judge a book by its cover. Enough. She grabbed my shoulders, pinned me against the wall, eyes rimmed red. Charles goo. How did you end up like this? I had never seen her like that. Froze on the spot. She stared at me, gritting her teeth. Stop torturing yourself. Didn't you want to date? I'll date you, okay? In the eerily quiet alley, I could almost hear both our hearts pounding wildly. She leaned in close. So close it felt like a kiss was coming, and her gaze slowly settled on my lips. I stared at her dazedly, heart thundering like drums. The guard's voice echoed from outside. Who's there? We both jolted, quickly pulled apart. Lin Lam avoided my eyes. Sorry, I don't know what came over me just now. It's fine. I didn't even hear clearly what you said. I have to head home. I rushed the words out, then limped and hopped away. Lin Lam silently watched my figure fade, only stepping out of the alley after a long while. Back home I tossed and turned, unable to sleep. Her eyes from that moment kept replaying in my head. We'd almost kissed. Probably just the dim light and momentary impulse. Once clear-headed, she'd definitely regret it. How could she possibly like me? Who would ever like me? I took a deep breath, burrowed under the covers, forcing myself to sleep. After struggling half the night, I finally drifted off. Next day back at school, not just my face bruised, but my eyes swollen too. To hide it, I had to put on my thick glasses again. Lin Lam arrived very late. She sat down silently, bringing a chill with her. Neither greeted the other. Last night was too awkward anyway. Her wanting to avoid it was understandable. I tried not to overthink, focused all my energy on studying. College exams were coming, nothing mattered more. Dinner time, I didn't go out. Nibbled on 2 pieces of bread I'd brought. Stayed put, grinding problems. Tonight, I tackled Guangdong's math set. The last essay question insanely hard. The prompt alone hundreds of characters long. I read it for ages with no ideas. The back door was open. People coming and going. 2 girls leaving last were chatting. Someone just spotted Julian Chu right at our school gate. Here for Lin Lam, obviously. Definitely Julian Chu. I paused, gripped my pen tighter, feeling ridiculous. Me and Lin Lam? How could we? With Julian Chu there, what reason did she have to like me? The classroom, empty. Just me left. I stared at the test paper, heart heavy. A moment later, I took a deep breath to refocus and continued. Still couldn't solve it. Starting to feel restless. The more restless, the less progress. After struggling to find a clue, worked the whole thing only to get it dead wrong. I ruffled my hair in frustration, not knowing where I went wrong when a cool voice suddenly spoke. That's not how you write it. I jolted in surprise. Turned to see Lin Lam standing beside me. She leaned down, took the pen from my hand. Look, you haven't even used this given. Her body practically enveloped mine. She scribbled the solution swiftly on my scratch paper. With each stroke, it became clearer. I didn't dare move an inch. When did she get here? Had she been watching me the whole time? Got it? I snapped back, nodded. Good then. The second question shouldn't be hard for you anymore. She straightened up, but showed no sign of leaving. Just twirling the pen in her hand. What's wrong? She looked at me, hesitated a second, took a deep breath, and said, Charles Gu, I'm sorry for being too much last night. I was a bit surprised, quickly stood, waved it off, casually. It's fine, I told you. I didn't even hear clearly. You don't have to worry. No, I mean, I want to apologize for confessing and then running off halfway. It was like thunder in my ears. I suddenly felt like I no longer understood human language. What did that mean? What did her words mean? Lin Lam leaned down to look at me, word by word. Dead serious. I figured you must have been really confused last night. So, I want to say it again. Charles Gu, I like you. Will you be with me? I was stunned. What? An inexplicable bitterness suddenly drowned me. Tears welled up, uncontrollably. I quickly wiped them, forced a smile. What nonsense are you saying? April Fools. Just now, Ruby Chung came to find me. What did she say? She told me you weren't chasing her at all. She also said, you went to her every day to make her apologize to me. My mind went blank. What was up with that redhead? Why suddenly tell Lin Lam all this? For some reason, I felt even more pathetic. I sobbed. Don't overthink it. I had my own reasons for going to her. Just for this, you confess. Is this repayment? Lin Lam, didn't you hate me? You called me annoying, told me to stay away. So what's this now? She looked at me blankly, eyes rimmed red. voice trembling. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for those words. But I've never hated you. That day, I said those things. Only because I thought you still liked Grace Luo. I assumed you approached me. Just to use me to make her jealous. To make her regret. Really sorry. I went still. Waves surging in my heart. Crashing one after another. Because of Grace Luo. So that's what it was. I finally remembered why she suddenly turned cold. It really was related to Grace Liu. That night, Grace Liu came to find me. In a haze. I seemed to see her figure in the glass door. But when I turned, no one was there. I thought it was my imagination. Turns out it was really her. She'd heard everything, and she cared a lot about it. I looked at her, tears streaming, sobbing. Then, what about Julian Chu? Julian is my half-brother. Same mom, different dad. We're not close at all. He only wanted me to visit mom. Then, what about you saying my red bean bun tasted awful? Sorry. That was the one honest thing I said. I cried even harder. She panicked, flailing, not knowing what to do. After crying my fill, I asked her, so does being together from earlier still count? Of course it does, she said, then gave a self-mocking smile. But you've probably heard. Getting too close to me brings disaster. No way. You have no idea how much luck you've brought me. She froze. She pulled me into a tight hug. Only that evening did I learn what happened this afternoon. Turns out when Lin Lam went to meet Julian, she was spotted by Ruby Chung, who thought Lin Lam was dating Julian. The more she thought, the angrier she got. Rushed over and grabbed Lin Lam. I only insulted you once. And every day, Charles Gu humiliates me, saying I can't compare to one of your toenails. If I don't apologize, he won't let me off. And you off dating someone else. How can you face Charles Gu like that? Those were Ruby Chung's exact words. I really couldn't imagine what expression she used to say that. No idea why she suddenly stood up for me. Was it fight hard? Make up harder? Anyway, after hearing that, Lin Lam decided to come back to class and find me. Me and Lin Lam getting together, I really had to thank her. Evening self-study, I made a trip to class 4. Ruby Chung saw me and instinctively tried to dodge. I placed a bubble tea on her desk. Ruby Chung, thanks. She glanced at the tea, probably guessed what happened. Plopped back in her seat, one arm on the desk, casually took a sip, looking indifferent. Not calling me redhead anymore? If you like, I can keep calling you that. Get lost. Actually, she's not so bad. You're a good person. I don't want to be good. Ruby Chung turned away to sip her tea, ignoring me. I smiled and left. After school, Lin Lam walked me home. At the bus stop, we stood side by side waiting. Really no need to walk me all the way? Really no. Mom waits for me at the stop. If she sees, I'm done for. Okay? She leaned against the signpost, sighed softly. Rain had just stopped. Puddles still lined the road. A car sped by. Lin Lam quickly pulled me close. Water splashed everywhere. Luckily, missed us. Be careful, she said. So close. Almost kissed again. My face burned, heart racing. Didn't dare move. Her gaze dropped to my lips. Gentle and dreamy. Slowly, her face grew larger in my view. Her lips inching closer to mine. Screeching brakes pierced the air. The bus arrived. I snapped awake, quickly stepped back to board. I'm going. But she held my arm tight. My whole body fell toward her. She leaned down for a quick peck, then let go. Too fast. I didn't even feel it. See you tomorrow, she waved. Tomorrow. See you. My mind floated. On the bus, I kept looking through the window. She stood there seeing me off, figure fading, until out of sight. Lin Lam and I secretly dated like that, studying together, working hard together. Only after falling in love did I realize. She actually smiles a lot. Every time I talk, she'd smile and look at me. Fifth monthly exam, I scored 620, ranked 19th overall. The day the training office posted the golden board, I dragged Lynn Lamb to see it with me. While no teachers around, I sneaked out my phone to snap photos. First time ranking this high. Had to capture the memory. Lynn Lamb looked a bit helpless, but just shook her head, smiled, watching me take pictures. On the way back to class, I chattered about last night's dream. She listened patiently, occasionally teasing me. When we reached the second floor, a stranger boy ran up. Lynn. He bowed his head, looking extremely anxious. Handed her a letter, for you. Lynn Lamb didn't plan to take it. Sorry. The boy stuffed the letter into her arms, turned and ran. People confessing to Lynn Lamb wasn't rare. But in this day and age, handwritten love letters? I snatched it jealously. Let me see what it says. Lynn Lamb looked helpless. Don't read it. Just throw it away. I have to learn from the experience. Lynn Lamb sighed, reached to grab it back. I didn't give it, climbing the stairs, playfully opening the envelope while teasing. Lynn, seeing your handwriting is like seeing you. Wow, quite educated. Stop reading, toss it. Please, let me see. Lynn, maybe you don't know who I am, but that doesn't matter. I really like you a lot, even though everyone dislikes you. Even though anyone close to you gets bad luck. I froze. Voice, trailing off. Even though you pushed Mac Westview to jump off the building. The words on the paper hit like heavy hammers, slamming into my chest. Lynn Lamb suddenly plunged into an abyss. Stop reading. She snatched the paper and tore it to shreds, frantically threw it in the trash. I'd never seen her like this. Never seen her hands tremble so much. Who was Mac Westview? Why would that guy write such things? I paused a second, then rushed downstairs. But no matter where I searched, couldn't find that boy anywhere. Lynn Lamb had changed. She seemed to fall back into endless darkness. Back in class, she started madly doing homework. Silent, not a word, as if only that brought her some peace. I didn't press her. I thought she needed time to calm down. Evening, back home, I used Dad's computer to search the name MacWestVI. Thought for a bit. Decided to check the school forum. Felt like answers might be there. Sure enough, after digging through countless posts, in the comments of a confession thread, I found info on MacWestVI.a. I scrolled slowly, feeling more and more suffocated. In that thread, full of vicious curses aimed at Lynn Lamb, I had to ignore the insults to find useful clues. Turns out, Mac West VDU was class president of the advanced class at number 1 High. October last year, he suddenly jumped off a building, landed on the first floor awning, survived, but still hadn't woken up. Still in the hospital, commenters said. Mac West V told friends hours before jumping. He planned to confess to Lynn Lamb. And right after Lynn Lamb left, he jumped. It was Lynn Lamb who forced him to jump. Maybe she even pushed him herself. An account named YY left tons of comments. You don't know Lynn Lamb. Anyone close gets cursed. Everyone in her class knows. She acts all aloof normally, but behind the scenes, heart black as hell. Every guy who chased her got cursed out badly. I stared at those strange messages. No way to connect that image to Lynn Lamb. Midnight, I shut down the computer. I thought I should ask Lynn Lamb directly. Early next morning, I went to the outside of Lynn Lamb's residential complex. Didn't tell her in advance. Stood at the gate watching her come out, all alone, eyes shadowed with gloom. Seeing me clearly caught her off guard. If it were before, she'd probably be happy. But she just walked up to me and asked, "Why are you here?" "Lynn, I want to hear you tell me about Mac West v. Date." She froze for a second, then gave a bitter smile. "Why? You think I forced him to jump too, right?" "No, I just want to help you. I really didn't push him." She bit her lip hard, eyes welling up, nose red from the cold. "When I left, he was clearly fine. He even told me he wouldn't give up, would study hard to meet me at the top. I really don't know why he jumped." She sobbed, tears rolling down, eyes growing more vacant. Maybe I really did kill him. Who told me I'm a walking curse? Anyone near me gets unlucky? Maybe because she always seemed so mature before. I'd never imagined Lynn Lamb crying, but she was just like me. Could feel wrong, could feel pain. "No, don't say that." I gently hugged her. "I know you didn't push him. I believe you'd never do that. Lynn, stop tormenting yourself. I'll always be by your side, okay? You really believe me?" "Of course." She went still for a moment, trembling as she hugged me tight. After the last class, it was Lunar New Year. School off for 3 days. I decided to use these 3 days to do something. I quietly went on No. 1 High's forum, asked around senior students. Finally found the hospital where Mac West Valve was. First day of the new year. I didn't tell anyone. Went alone to find Mac West VUA.T. He'd been in that hospital half a year. Seemed lots of visitors during his stay. When I mentioned the name to the nurse, she gave a knowing look. "You're his classmate?" "Yes, that's right. He's in room 9, 16th floor. Turn left, take the elevator up." "Thanks." I carried a bunch of bananas up to 16. Inside and outside the ward, many beds, all family caring for patients. I passed each room, reached room 9's door. Not visiting hours. I could only peek through the glass window. On the bed closest to the window, a boy about my age lay there. I observed a while to confirm it was Mac West VD, much thinner than in photos. Eyes closed, looked like he was sleeping. "Here to visit Ty-V again?" A woman's voice from behind. I jumped, about to turn and reply. Realized she was talking to another boy. Boy, about 5'7", wearing glasses. Very scholarly. "First day of New Year. As a good friend, how could I not visit? Thanks, kids. You're all so good to Ty-V. He'd be so happy if he knew." The woman wiped tears. "But today, you're a bit late. No visiting now." "It's okay, just looking from afar is enough." The boy pursed his lips, looked through the glass. "Auntie, any progress with Ty-V lately? When will he wake up?" At that, the woman couldn't hold back, shook her head, tears pouring. "I don't know. Doctors say he might stay like this forever. But I really can't give up." "Really?" The boy looked at Mac West VD again, eyes complicated, then quickly comforted. "It'll be okay. Ty-V is such a good guy. Heaven will protect him. He'll wake up soon." "Thanks." The woman sobbed, no strength left to reply. The boy set down his flower basket, checked his watch. "Auntie, I'll head out first. Take care of yourself." The woman nodded, sat by the next bed, head bowed, crying. After a while, doctor called her away. I stood dazed outside the window looking at Mac West VD. So young. Was he really never waking up? Suddenly, I thought I saw something move. Like Mac West V's finger, twitched. "Is anyone there?" I turned to call a doctor, but no medical staff around. I pressed close to the window to watch carefully, but waited long. Mac West VC didn't move again. Was it just my imagination? Disappointed, I stepped back, lingered a bit, placed the bananas on the bed and left the hospital. Next morning, relatives came to my house. Noisy and chaotic. I used school as excuse, grabbed my bag and left. Since my grades improved, Mom believed whatever I said. After leaving home, I went to a cafe near school. Sat a few minutes. Lin Lam arrived. Cold? Seeing me shivering, she sat close, held my hand to warm it. I hesitated, then asked, Lin, want to visit Mac West VE? Her hand froze. I went yesterday. Saw him. Felt like he's about to wake up. Lin, wanna go see him? I heard even in vegetative state, they still have consciousness. He used to like you. Go talk to him, might help somehow. If he wakes, wouldn't you be cleared? Her eyes darkened, but I knew she really wanted to go. Just didn't know how to face it. I gripped her hand tight. I'll always be with you. Lin Lam silent a moment, then nodded slightly. Last day of winter break, Lin Lam and I went to the hospital together. Just got out of the taxi. Lin Lam suddenly stopped. I looked up. Turned out to be the guy from outside the ward yesterday. Behind him, more people. Told you it's Lin Lam. He smirked triumphantly, staring at Lin Lam, mocking. Miss Lam, what brings you here? To see if Taivv is dead from your curse, yet? Lin Lam's eyes ice cold. What do you want? You see? Murderer. I could clearly feel Lin Lam's hand trembling. Lin, let's go. I pulled her hand, intending to avoid these people for now. But they blocked our path completely. Wanna leave? Just like that? Min gritted his teeth. Fists clenched so hard they cracked. After hiding for so long, it took a lot to finally catch you. You think I'll just let you go easily? Seeing the situation turn bad, I quickly stepped in front of Lin Lam. Hey, what are you planning to do? I'll call the police. Call the police? I didn't do anything. He sneered coldly and stepped closer to Lin Lam, one step at a time. She silently pulled me behind her. Charles, go home first. Home? Why should I go home? I refused to budge. Min and the others kept advancing. If it really came to a fight, how could Lin Lam possibly take on 4 guys? Right when I was panicking completely, an electric scooter sped past, slid another dozen meters, then suddenly stopped. The rider backed up using both feet. What's going on? She got off, removed her helmet. It was Ruby Chung. Why are you here? I looked at her in surprise. She dyed her hair black again at some point, looking much more subdued. Ah, just passing by. She flicked her hair and stared at Min. Hey buddy, what's the matter? Planning a fight? Min didn't know who she was. He sneered. Mind your own business. Ruby Chung gave a mocking laugh. School no. 1 kid's trying to beat up someone from our school no 3. And you tell me not to interfere? She cracked her knuckles, tossed the helmet aside, then pulled a baseball bat from the scooter, eyes sharp as blades. So, wanna give it a try? Min froze, clearly realizing Ruby Chung was the reckless type, not someone to mess with. He suddenly grinned. What's this? Who said anything about fighting? He turned to Lin Lam. We're good friends, right? No way we'd fight. Didn't you want to see Mac West VE? Let me take you. He acted like nothing happened, reached to pat Lin Lam's shoulder, but she leaned away to avoid it. He wasn't embarrassed at all. Waved to us. Come on. I'll lead you to meet Mac West VE. I couldn't understand how someone could flip so fast. But we come here to see Taivv anyway. If he wasn't stopping us, we had to go in. Ruby Chung, worried something might happen, silently followed along. Outside the ward, Min called from afar. Auntie Mac. Auntie Mac turned, saw Lin Lam. Her eyes immediately went blank. What are you doing here? I caught Min, turning away with a secret smirk. My blood boiled with anger, worried for Lin Lam. But she gently pushed my hand away, walked alone toward Auntie Mac. Auntie, sorry. Slap. A resounding slap landed on Lin Lam's face. Her head tilted slightly, cheek instantly red and swollen. Get out! You're not welcome here. Lin Lam's eyes remained resolute. Auntie, I want to see TV. Haven't you harmed my TV enough? What more do you want? My heart ached terribly. Wanted to rush forward, but Ruby Chung held me tight. At the ward door, Lin Lam's eyes red-rimmed. She looked at Auntie Mac, voice trembling. Auntie, Torada, I know you hate me, but I really didn't push TV, and I never insulted him. The day he came to me, I only told him senior year was coming. Focus on studying. Do you know what he said? Auntie Mac sobbed uncontrollably. I don't want to know. Lin Lam looked at her, face full of stubbornness. He said he wouldn't give up. He'd study hard to meet me at the top again. Auntie, Taivei is a very good person. I could never push him, and I don't believe someone as hardworking as him would jump off a building for no reason. If he were conscious, he definitely wouldn't want you hating the wrong person. Please, Auntie, let me see him. Auntie Mac covered her face and cried. Finally, she stepped aside. When we entered the ward, the doctor was just doing rounds. Lin Lam asked when he might wake up. The doctor shook his head. Hard to say. The patient shows no signs of improvement yet. The room suddenly fell silent. Everyone's mood heavy. Only Nang Yemin in the corner looked like a weight had been lifted. But very quickly, he put on fake outrage again. So fast I thought I imagined it. Lin Lam, satisfied now, turning Tae Fi into this. And you have the nerve to come see him. He was truly detestable. Even Ruby Chung couldn't hold back. Hospital rules. No noise. Got any sense? Ni Min didn't get angry. Stayed quiet. Kept fanning the flames from behind. Auntie, she's seen enough. Let her leave. Tai Fi surely doesn't want her near him. Auntie Mac already disliked Lin Lam Data. Hearing Yan Yam Min Data, ordered her out. Done? Can you go now? Lin Lam paused. Just let me say one thing to her. She bent down to look at Mac West VD's closed eyes. Voice very gentle. Tai VV, stop sleeping in. Get better soon, okay? You said we'd meet at the top. Don't break your promise. Auntie Mac heard that. Couldn't hold back tears again. Lin Lam stood and looked at me. Let's go. Okay. I followed behind Lin Lam. Just at the door, I glanced back. Suddenly, froze. What's wrong? I stared at Mac West VT. He just moved, didn't he? Nye Min, stunned for a second. No way! He turned, eyes blank, full of panic and disbelief. Charles, you really saw it? Lin Lam asked me. Yes, he moved again. I pointed at Mac West VF, shouting in shock. Right after my cry, the monitoring machines beeped frantically. Lin Lam reacted fastest, rushed out of the ward. Doctor, doctor. Several staff hurried over. We turned back to Mac West, Vice die. Seconds later, his mother screamed. Taivi really moved. We were thrilled beyond words, watching his fingers twitch bit by bit, as if struggling against invisible chains. After a quiet moment, he slowly opened his eyes. Everyone was overjoyed. When things calmed, I noticed Nyem Min had vanished. I dashed out of the ward, saw him sprinting toward the end of the hallway. Lin, Nyem Min's running away. Lin Lam paused, then shot off like an arrow. Ruby Chung saw and ran after me to chase him. Ni Min, like a cornered animal, dashed through floors. But how could he outrun Ruby Chung? As he reached the first floor, Ruby Chung leaped from the second-floor stairs, blocked him and kicked him flying. Running where? Ninyam Min trembled, forced a smile. I just needed the bathroom. Bathroom? Running like that? Get up here. Ruby Chung grabbed him by the collar, dragged him into the elevator. Long legs, perfect figure. Nia Min in her grip looked like a chick. Ward on the 16th floor. The moment we brought Nahyamin in, countless eyes turned to him, including Mac West, VCU's. He stared fixedly at Nahyamin, voice struggling from his throat. "It's him," he pushed. "How could you?" Nahyamin nearly collapsed to the floor. 20 minutes later, police sirens echoed everywhere. Nahyamin was taken to the station. Finally, he confessed. He and Lin Lam had been friends since starting high school, but her fate was too good. Powerful family, stunning looks, grades far surpassing his. He didn't think he was bad, but next to Lin Lam he was nothing. Day by day, his mind twisted. He hated Lin Lam more and more. On the surface, he played the good friend, but behind her back spread vicious rumors, calling her a jinx. Anyone close would suffer. He also smeared her character, secretly insulting every guy who'd liked her. Last year, Mac West VC came to Nahyamin. Since he was Lin Lam's best friend, he wanted to ask about her likes. Said he planned to confess to her. Nahyamin knew Lin Lam often went to the rooftop for air, so he tipped Mac West Vivo off and secretly followed on the confession day. At first, no intent to kill, but after Lin Lam left, seeing Mac West V dazed on the rooftop, some demon possessed him, and he pushed. The rest everyone knew. Mac West V severely injured, in coma. Everyone assumed Lin Lam was the culprit. They thought even if she didn't push, it was because of her, so forced her to transfer. While Mac West VO was hospitalized, Nahyamin always feared he'd wake and expose everything. So he visited periodically, only sleeping easy when sure he wouldn't wake. The day we visited, he planned to humiliate Lin Lam, but never expected. Despite doctors saying low chance of waking, Mac West VC suddenly did. The truth came out. Nahyamin was 17 when he committed the crime. Under current law, prison was unavoidable. A few days after his arrest, we visited Mac West V again. His condition, much better. Could talk fluently and walk now. Before leaving, Lin Lam smiled at him. "Get well soon." "Yeah," he smiled too. "College, exams soon. You and your boyfriend better work hard." Actually, I feared exciting him, so hadn't revealed myself yet. But he recognized me, just smiled, wished us well, and thanked me, saying she really was a good girl. I nodded goodbye. Leaving the hospital, Ruby Chung hopped on her little electric scooter. "Tough days for you," I said. She shrugged indifferently. "Tough what? Planning to give me a Good Citizen award? Or grab a meal together?" "Nah, got other plans," I said sincerely. "Don't go fighting anymore." "Ruby Chung, exams are coming." "Who said fighting? This big sis is going basketball. You two grab your own ride home. My scooter's full." She put on her helmet, zoomed off in a flash. Lin Lam and I watched her disappear, then held hands and walked slowly home. "See? Who called you a jinx? You're clearly a blessing." Soon as you came, Mac West VD woke. Lin Lam smiled softly. "Probably because of you that he woke." "Because of you." I hesitated long. Finally decided to tell her. "Lin Lam T. Don't you wonder why I suddenly approached you?" I stopped walking, took a deep breath to confess. "Actually, because I discovered every time I touched you, something good happened. So I approached you to borrow your luck. But later, things changed." My voice grew smaller. "Why aren't you saying anything? Are you mad at me?" She was silent a long time, then pulled me into a tight hug. "If what you said is true, I just feel really lucky. Lucky that the one bringing you luck is me. Lucky that the one by your side now is me." The sunset glow was so brilliant. Warm spring wind brushed our hearts. So gentle. May came. First cicada chirps in the schoolyard. Summer is cicada season. They hid underground for years. Silent, nameless, no sunlight, just waiting for their own summer. Waiting for a brilliant moment to shine. After my score reached 640, progress slowed, creeping up point by point, full of hardship. Lin Lam said, maybe the earlier jumps weren't her bringing luck, but me, gradually reclaiming my own true ability. 640 was my real level, so pushing higher would be very hard. I felt a bit discouraged, but quickly rallied, kept grinding problems. Even 1 or 2 points mattered. June, final exam ended. I rushed out of the room. Lin Lam had submitted early, waiting at the gate. Seeing me, she opened her arms for my flying hug. End of June, scores out. I got 666, way better than expected. Lin Lam went to Peking University. I went to a university in Beijing. Both of us had bright futures ahead. Extra Lin Lam. Lin Lam didn't understand why things turned out this way. She only rejected a boy she didn't know. Never expected him to jump. Everyone looked at her strangely. Called her a killer. Things got worse and worse. Even her closest friend accused her, saying befriending her brought endless bad luck. Desk drawer stuffed with cursed notes. Even textbooks deliberately torn. Those mixed gazes of contempt, glee, and cold indifference, like layers of tape sealing her mouth and nose, making it impossible to breathe. Finally, under overwhelming pressure, she had to transfer. At the new school, few knew her, but some still knew the past. Hearing the name Lin Lam, they threw knowing looks. She stopped caring. Maybe she really was what they said. A jinx. Anyone close would suffer. She didn't want to spread the misfortune. Didn't want to trust anyone again. For 2 months of the new semester, she interacted with no one, surrounded always by cold isolation. She thought life would just drift on until graduation. But suddenly someone burst into her view. She remembered him. His name was Charles Dao. She remembered his name because once she accidentally saw his physics test. He'd solved the final essay cleverly, but messed up basic addition-subtraction, giving a completely wrong answer. She couldn't understand how someone so smart could err on basic calculations. Just like now, she couldn't fathom why he suddenly sat next to her. Edgar Allan Poe is so stylish. I've reread My Uncle Jules countless times. She looked at him, stunned for ages, not knowing what episode he was having. Finally just said, I'm busy, to brush him off. She didn't care about the small thing. After getting her bag from the equipment room, she overheard a girl tell Charles Gu, that one's a jinx. Anyone near her gets unlucky. Don't believe? Try it. Her eyes darkened. She thought, surely he'd back off now. And when he turned, he was indeed silent. She knew it, shouldered her bag, and walked to the gate, assuming he'd been scared away. But from behind came his bright voice. Lin Lam, tomorrow, I'll bring you red bean buns. She froze, didn't dare turn, just blended into the crowd. The second day, Charles Gu really brought red bean buns. Probably rushed, sweaty. She refused out of habit. He looked awkward, quietly returned to his seat. Then she heard boys behind mocking him. They said, lining up an hour just for red bean buns. What an idiot. She felt a bit breathless. She had no idea those buns required an hour's wait. She turned, saw him silently crying. Something stirred in her heart. Finally, she stood and walked over. Give it here, she said. Many days after, Lin Lam always regretted why she ate that bun back then. From that day, Charles Gu stuck to her like glue. He talked so much, like he'd never run out of things. And he seemed to think she loved red bean buns. Brought them every day. No matter how many times she said no bow, she feared making him cry again, so reluctantly ate them all. She found him annoying with his non-stop chatter. But, gradually, his endless talking started feeling kinda cute. Sometimes he was busy all day without talking. Her heart felt strangely empty. After the fourth survey test, Charles Gu asked, "Want to sit in the same row with me? I'll make you row captain." She acted uninterested, but after he sat, looking at the empty spot beside him, she thought maybe sitting together wouldn't be bad. So somehow, she moved her desk there. "Hey, didn't you say no?" She knew he'd gloat. She didn't glance at him. "If you have time to babble, do more problems," he boasted, doing them now. "Wait and see. I'll surpass you someday." So cute she couldn't help smiling faintly. Dinner time. She went out to eat. Returning, saw a boy in her seat. Probably Charles Gu's friend. They rarely met, so she'd yield the spot. About to leave when she heard the boy say, "Last time you were crying your heart out over Grace Liu rejecting you. Living like death. Tell me honestly, are you chasing Lin Lam to spite Grace Liu?" She froze, mind blank for a second. Who is Grace Liu? The boy just said. Charles Gu, chasing her to spite Grace Liu. She stepped back 2 paces, nearly collapsing. All that evening, her heart restless. On the way home, she couldn't hold back, asked an acquaintance who Grace Liu was. They told her everything. Turns out the girl Charles Gu liked for ages. 3 months ago he just confessed to her. Waves surged in her heart, impossible to calm. Recalling when he started approaching her. It was right after Grace Liu rejected him. So that was why he suddenly was nice. Just to spite Grace Liu. So everything she'd received was, what? All because of one person named Grace Liu? Lin Lam tossed all night, sleepless. Next day's break. She went to the balcony to escape a bit. He shamelessly followed to borrow luck. He wanted to stay near her for luck. She never knew how to refuse. Just as she was about to agree, Grace Liu appeared. She coldly watched the two. Indeed, saw their unusual atmosphere. Finally, convinced, Charles Gu approached her because of Grace Liu. Her heart choked, uncomfortable beyond breathing. "Stay away from me. You're really annoying." She finally snapped from enduring too much. She pushed Charles Gu away hard. Before leaving, to vent. "And your red bean bun tasted awful." The most hurtful thing she could think of. Charles Gu was scared stiff. All that day he didn't dare speak to her. The one who pushed him away was her. But the one hurting most was also her. Charles Gu really stopped bothering her. But that made her more restless. Evening, Julian sent her a birthday gift. Asked Charles Gu to pass it. He handed it to her, with a forced smile. "Happy birthday. And about before, I was too arrogant. Won't happen again." The door blew open in the wind. Wind howled in. She bowed her head, feeling a hole in her heart, letting the cold wind rush straight in. The next 2 days, she and Charles awkwardly kept distance. The following night, she suddenly had severe stomach pain. Midnight ambulance. Acute appendicitis. Doctors quickly operated, then admitted her. Lying in the hospital bed, she finally calmed a bit. Also started regretting. Why did she say those things to Charles Gu? He'd already ended with Grace Liu. So even if he used her to spite Grace Liu, so what? The loser was Grace Liu, not her. Her mood sank lower, thinking of Charles Gu. Couldn't sleep. 7 days later, finally discharged. She thought upon returning, she must clarify to Charles Gu. That she wasn't angry anymore. But, back at school, she realized the sky had fallen. They said Charles Gu was chasing the redhead from class 4. Chasing hard. She beat him every day. Yet he refused to give up. She was shocked and couldn't believe her ears. School started. Charles Gu arrived. She looked up, stunned to see even his appearance had changed. Because of that redhead girl? She couldn't hold back. Advised him college exams soon. Don't ruin your future over a delinquent girl. But he seemed not to hear. After school, she heard someone say the redhead was in the back alley. She didn't hesitate a second, ran to find her. Worried he'd get hurt. Hesitated a bit, then followed. Just arrived when she heard Charles Gu's voice. I'm telling you, you're not going anywhere. Wherever you go, I'll follow. She clenched her fists. Liked her that much? Then she heard a loud crash. And his pained cry. She rushed in without thinking. Pushed Ruby Chung away hard. He collapsed amid scrap, unable to stand. Face covered in wounds. She was furious but held back. After the redhead left, she couldn't endure anymore. Asked why he was torturing himself like this. Chasing a childish girl. He mimicked Ruby Chung's attitude. Indifferent. I want to date now. None of your business. None of my business? None? She'd only been gone a few days. He'd already chased someone else. And turned himself into this childish mess. She was so angry, pinned him against the wall. Blurted, didn't you want a date? I'll date you, okay? Only after saying it did she realize what she'd said. How could she say that? She lowered her eyes to Charles Gu's dazed look. So close. His lips looked very soft. For some reason wanted to kiss them. But the guard arrived. She snapped awake. Awkwardly explained, sorry, I don't know what came over me. He also snapped too. Quickly ran off. She watched his limping figure fade. Felt a bit regretful. Suddenly said such weird words. He'd definitely think she was malfunctioning. She went home like that. Lying in bed, regretting again. If she'd just kissed him then, how good. She startled at her own thought. But, this time, the curse was broken. Everything had happened. What would Charles Gu think? He'd surely look down on her. She smiled bitterly. Sleepless all night. Back at school, she didn't know how to face Charles Gu. Charles Gu also stopped talking to her. He must hate her now. Her mood sank. Only burying in problem sets brought some peace. Dinner time, Julian came again. Asked her to visit mom on weekend for sure. Parents, divorced early. Same mom, different dad, not close. She nodded casually. Said if time she'd go. Julian feared she'd change mind. Kept holding her hand, reminding. This scene seen by the redhead. For some reason she rushed over. Pushed Julian away. Then grabbed Lin Lam's collar. Lin Lam, what are you doing? She frowned. Pushed Ruby Chung away. Glanced at Julian. Anger erupted. Damn, do you have a heart? You know I only insulted you once. And every day Charles Gu blocks me. Saying I can't compare to your toenail. If I don't apologize, he won't let me go. And you, off dating someone else. How can you face Charles Gu? She was stunned for ages. Lin Lam, what did you say? Charles Gu blocked the redhead every day. To make her apologize. Waves surged fiercely. She pushed Ruby Chung away. Flew toward class. She finally understood his heart. This time, she wouldn't let go of him.